Ready.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bullhucker Podcast. I'm Larry Moose Lundstrom.
And I'm Adam Vokey.
What's going on, folks?
Not a whole lot.
Guess where we are? Guess where we are, everybody?
We're at our favorite place in the world.
That's right, Bullhucker Studio, down in the bowels of the Emporium, Russian Emporium.
Yep, we're down here.
This is our home now.
It is.
This is our home, although we're going to do a special episode for the Halloween coming up at the Club Tap Room, because that's not kind of their thing. So if you go to the Club Tap Room, they decorate the shit out of that place for Halloween, yeah, for sure. So that's kind of where we're going to be there. And comedy's coming back.
That's what I heard. First
show will be October 14th. Tickets will be on sale October 1st. So by the time you're seeing this, I hope you got to them. So tickets are $20. Talon Salzman will be in town.
Oh, great guy. Love working with that guy.
Yes, he's. I tried to get the Republican. They're doing like a banquet. The Republicans, Morgan County Republicans. Mm-hmm. They want to do a live Bullhucker, and I just can't make it to work the timing or whatever. And I told him, I got a comedian for you. You'll like Talon Saucerman because he's. No, Talon's the shit. I love him so much. But before we get any further, Adam, we have a guest.
We do have a guest.
How do you know her?
From comedy shows / Lacey Starner, The Bar. And we're not talking about like attorney bar. We're talking about, like Club Tap Bar.
Her and I fought a bunch of ninjas one time, had a punch a hooker. It was an eventful night.
Your story is way better than mine.
Danielle, how are you?
Good, how are you?
You didn't see that coming, did you? That's why I was ready to go running with the moose. You don't remember some of this shit, Danielle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I think we actually did meet after at a comedy show at the Queen Lounge.
Mm-hmm. At the Queen's.
Yeah, and Amy and Nick were just on, so it was his just came out recently. So great episodes, by the way. So they're both great storytellers. But how have you been?
Really good.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Yeah, good.
Busy.
Good. Danielle's the busy one here. She's exactly the cross-eyed, yes, for sure.
And the kitten season.
Yeah. So you run. We're going to talk slightly about it. We'll talk more at the end, but Little Rescue on the Prairie. Mm-hmm. So that keeps you crazy busy.
Insane.
Right, and it's something you're very passionate about.
Yes.
So we're going to get into that a little later. Have you heard anything about it yet, Adam?
Not a whole lot. Just kind of from what she's posted on Facebook and stuff, but I don't know a whole lot of details.
Right. So she wanted to name it Cat House for a while. It was. Turns out Playboy might already have. He'll make it soon. That's all I'm saying.
Maybe.
Hugh Hefner is our relative. So does he have any kids?
Probably.
Well, I mean,
you would think
that he claims.
I think I've been busy though because I'm right next to the liquor store and the pot shop. So if we had a cat house right between, I think it would have been good. Busy.
I mean, but you're going to get a lot of people that aren't
maybe
going.
A lot of disappointment in there.
What's going on here? Go get some weed or some booze. There's no hoochie in this bitch. Although we have some cats. So before we go any further, though, I do want to say welcome to the Bullhucker Podcast. If you're new to the podcast, what we do is we bring on a guest. Today's Daniels. And what she's going to do is tell us 3 stories about her life. Now, here's a kicker. Only 2 of those stories are true. One's actually borrowed, made up, or partly made up, part true, part false. But you know what we're going to do, Adam? We're going to keep with the tradition we've been forming. We're not even going to let you tell us if it's a borrowed story or what.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yeah, that works. I like it.
Okay, yeah. Well, we're going to make it tougher on us.
Yeah. Because we're so good at this.
We're so good at this, So it just stacks the deck even more, But, it's ridiculous. But anyway, so Danielle's going to do it, and then at the end of the day, or at the end of the podcast, Adam and I are going to try and guess which one of these is not the true story.
Right.
Whether it's either borrowed, all the way made up, or partly made up. So, Danielle, are you ready to tell some stories?
I'm ready.
We're going to start this off right away. Because you have, I always say how much I like, I love titles, by the way. Titles do it for me every time. But when you sent me your titles today, I read them, and I was like, wow, those are titles.
Okay.
You want to read them, Adam? You got some going on there? Okay. Either Danielle goes to jail. Was it Married for Green?
Married for Citizenship.
Married for Citizenship, and Jack Nicholson and the Aspen Bar Fight. I can already tell you which one of those I want to hear last. So, Mr. Vokey, as usual, why don't you pick one out, my man?
Let's go with Married for Citizenship.
Right.
Okay. Well, I changed it to Married for Green. I thought that sounded better.
Okay.
Green card.
Well, that's what I was looking at. I was like, well, when I saw
Wait a minute.
that's what I was. Okay, so yeah, what she has is Married for Green.
When I read that earlier, I thought, is that what it said? I got to quit drinking. Okay.
Yeah.
Married for Green card.
Well.
Don't, just green.
Just green.
Just green.
Just
So
green.
green card.
Okay.
So I went for a job interview. This was a few years ago before I got married. And I was really needing the money and all this. And I go in And he interviews me, and he's like, it's going to be perfect. And then we hit it off, and he's like, I think you're going to be perfect for the job. Leading to that, I'm going to be hired. And then he starts kind of flirting, and we should go for a drink now, and all this other.
Very appropriate.
So, yeah, extremely appropriate. And I'm really young at this time, so I don't really pick up on that this is not appropriate.
How young? What age are we talking around?
I think I was just out of college.
Okay, so
22. Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, so we're hitting it off and having drinks and everything else, and he explains the situation to me that he's telling me what a great wife I'd make, and I'm just lovely, and especially now that I'm college educated, and it's just wonderful, and all this other. And so then he tells me that I kind of need a favor though, because I'm in a pickle. And I'm like, well, what's that? And he's like, well, that's part of the job. And I'm like, I know what's going on here.
I'll be honest.
And I'm thinking he's wanting,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I was saying.
If you say the word situation and pickle in the same sentence, my mind goes to a bad place. I'll be like, you know what, dude? Anyway,
yeah,
I'm sorry,
it
go
was a
ahead.
situational pickle.
Yeah.
So, so he presented it to me that that would be the job, that I would just have to marry him, and he wouldn't need a little something, but we'd have to get married. We'd have to do photos and all this stuff.
Right.
And it was kind of a lot of money. And so I don't know if I should say this, but I agreed because we didn't have to do anything, and we had to pose as like couples, and he had to come over and like meet my friends, and we had to take pictures of Christmas tree in July and all this stuff for
because the people that check that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that they don't know he's from Canada.
Oh, he's Canadian. Damn you, Danielle. Keep all those Canadians. Build a wall.
Well, and then lo and behold, though, my girlfriend starts telling him, because she's a dual Canadian citizen from Canada.
Right.
And she's like, you can apply for dualship. And he's like, and I'm like, what? No,
No, you can't.
She's drunk. She doesn't know.
You're seeing that green go.
Yeah, I'm like, no.
You should have said that before the pickle situation. That's
The pickle ring is on my hand. Committed. Yep, but yeah.
So when you were applying for this job, what was the original job you thought you were applying for?
Assistant.
Just an assistant. Okay.
Administrative assistant and personal assistant.
So this is
like errands and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is typical in LA. This is where I lived at the time.
Wow.
I just graduated from UCSB, and so I thought this was a totally legit job.
What is USCB?
UCSB.
What's UCSB?
Oh, sorry. University of California, Santa Barbara.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say San Bernardino.
Oh.
That's
good guess. My cousins are from there.
Really? I've only been to California once. So.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Where'd you grow up from? Where would you grow up?
Lompoc and Santa Barbara.
Okay, so you're from California.
Not originally. Originally, I'm from New Jersey.
The accent kind of. I've been
as
wondering.
As soon as I tell somebody, then they're like, "Oh, my whole family is from New York. Okay. I'm the only one who was born in New Jersey." Speaking of Playboy, that's a funny story. I should have told you that.
You know what? There'll be time at the end. So
I should have done that one.
So you get married to this guy. How long do you have to stay married to him? How long to the immigration's off his ass?
Okay, so we didn't get married.
Okay.
We didn't end up getting married. I just agreed to do it.
Okay.
So anyway, my girlfriend's telling me he can do all this dual citizenship. He tried to do it. But meanwhile, he had already put all this in place that we were getting married. And so we had all these interviews and everything. And then in the end, it was really bad because we canceled. I'm like, oh, we don't have to do it anymore because he's going to do the dual thing or whatever.
Right.
And then we totally got in trouble.
Yeah, when you tell an INS agent, oh, we don't need to do this sham of a marriage because he's going to do it legitimately. I'm pretty sure they're going to frown on that.
He got deported. It was terrible. Terrible. It was terrible. Yeah, it was bad. It was really, really bad.
Look what your friend did.
Yeah.
You lost a paycheck.
I know.
He got
because
deported.
she drinks too much.
I know. Right?
Jesus. That's like you're selling VCRs out of the back of a van. And your buddy's like, you can buy this cheaper at Walmart. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Get the fuck out of here, So you didn't get married.
So I didn't get married.
So when they interview you, is it true, like on the movies and stuff, like they ask you, like, what kind of underwear does he wear? And, like those crazy questions only couples know. Is that
right? Yeah, no, they do. Well, they ask like, so what kind of toothpaste do they use? What's their favorite foods? It's not basic stuff like their color, but yeah, right. like favorite sports team stuff. Like I obviously wouldn't know.
Right.
What did he? Well, I was just sitting here thinking. I was married for 9 years. And I couldn't tell you what kind of toothpaste my wife used.
I know.
Don't you guys use the same toothpaste?
No, I would use Sensodyne because my teeth are all jacked up.
Okay.
She used something else. So, I mean, I don't know about that question. If you know the answer to that question, there's something up because no guy knows that answer. Right.
I know. That is true.
That should be like the creeper test. Like, are you a creeper? Like, what color underwear does she wear? What kind of toothpaste does she use?
That's true. Actually, that is true. Because I kid you not, there was a time, I was married for 10 years as well, and I couldn't answer those questions. But I had changed my hair from blonde to deep dark red, and Mike didn't even notice.
Really?
Didn't even notice.
Jeez.
I'm walking around, and he's like, new shirt.
So you said you got in trouble, Danielle. Like, what do you mean? Is that another one of our stories?
Maybe.
Okay.
No.
This one that says Danielle goes to jail. It should just be Married for Green Part 2.
Yeah. So have you seen this guy since?
No.
Did you get paid anything at all?
Yes.
Oh, so he fell through that at
I
least.
had to give it back.
Okay.
I had to give it to the government.
You had to did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
$5,000.
That's called
really?
That was my down payment.
$5,000?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's
man.
$5,000 to do it, and then another $5,000 if you go through with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So was he mad? Did they deport him right there and then?
Yeah, they took him away. I haven't seen him since that day.
Really?
He looked pretty angry at me because I'm like, oh no, we don't need to.
Wow. Yeah. That's a crazy.
This is more Danielle.
That's a crazy story. What kind of business was he in?
Mergers and acquisitions.
That sounds boring.
Yeah. He made a lot of money.
Yeah?
He was really wealthy, but I guess his company was getting at him. He needed to get his green card because they were trying to, I don't know, expand or something because they were new to Santa Barbara. So
right.
I don't know what the pressure was, but
that's it's a guy I worked with had a lot of problems with his green card after a while because there's a lot of hoops you got to jump through, man. It's kind of crazy, and he had messed something up in it, and the company I worked for actually went to bat for him and helped him renew it.
Wow!
And then he quit like 3 weeks later. Yeah, dude, it was a shit move. He's trying to come back, and they're like, "No, we're good. Welcome to America." But up yours. So, yeah. That's what do you think about that one, Doki?
That is a crazy story.
That's a great story. I really enjoyed that. I'm going to ask you too. How did you? We'll talk about how you end up here later. So that's one side of the United States to the other, man. That's
what I was thinking. I'm like, that's some traveling there.
Was that a culture shock?
Oh yeah.
East Coast to West Coast?
It was easier because I did it when I was younger.
Right.
I came out from the East Coast to the West Coast when I was still in high school, so it was okay.
Okay.
But it was really fun at high school to be talking like this to all those California kids.
Yeah. Did they pick you out right away?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But at least the other flip side is that if you're from Jersey and you talk funny, you also know how to fight, so you're fine. They only pick on you for the first day.
Really? Are you a scrapper, Danielle?
A little.
Not a girl. Is that where Danielle goes to jail? We'll get there. We're going to get there. Now I'm super curious, like Danielle goes to jail for the first time. That's, in episode 4. So, all right. That was, I really enjoyed that. You're the first person to ever have that story on here in 137 episodes.
That's a new one.
That's, so you just had to give the money back.
That's why I could share it, though, because I got in trouble already.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I couldn't tell you. You would have caught me.
Yeah.
Lying.
So did you go to jail at all for that, or no? You did or nothing? Yeah, you had to. That's nuts. What do they consider that? Is that... What's the charge? I guess I'd have to ask.
It's a lot. It's fraud. It's embezzlement. It's it could be considered treason. I mean, it was all this stuff that they will throw out if you testify against the person to get them deported.
Really?
Like to help with the ICE case or whatever.
I kind of get it a little bit. But I'd also be like, this girl and I were shallow, but we're in love. What do you want me to tell you? You know what I mean? We're shallow. I don't know shit about her. I don't know shit about me. We got a pickle thing going on. Who are you to judge? Right? Who is your immigration ass to judge? You know what I'm saying?
Love is love.
Yeah. We made a video if you want to watch it, I guess. I don't know. There's not money changing hand in the video, but we guess we can make a part 2 if it makes you happy.
It's titled The Interview. So.
Yeah. They're like, get the filthy Canadian out. So, anyway, all right. That was Married for Green. That was great. Gosh, you know what? I really wanted to hear one at the end, but now.
That switched.
Yeah, it has switched. But you know what? I'm going to go with my gut. Danielle goes to jail.
Well, I'm going to flip it. It's not going to be that jail story.
Okay.
So this goes back to when I was I was just out of high school, first freshman year at UCSB.
Okay.
And I'm signing up for all the clubs and everything else, and huge animal lover. So I discovered PETA, who was huge back then, because I'm old. That's when they were like huge. And so I sign up with them, and I'm all about it. And we're throwing paint on people, and it's really fun. And anyway, so there's a group though on campus that is talking about different animal rights activism and things we can do. And this one girl who is really, really shy, she starts talking about her lab class and how awful. I think he's like the teacher or teacher's assistant or something, but he's kind of like the lab tech, like he manages the lab or something, but he also helps the teacher or something. Like a
teacher assistant.
Yeah, teacher assistant.
Probably get paid $5,000.
Yeah,
I was gonna say. Okay.
And he, I guess he's horrible. He is abusing the animals and he's doing all this horrible stuff.
Oh no!
So she's telling us about this and everything, and everybody's getting mad about the stuff he's doing and the sick, twisted stuff. So then one day she comes in, and she's got a videotape. I guess she had somehow gotten the video surveillance tape because she was talking to this guy, Pat, that is part of the group. And they got this tape and they're like, we have to do something. And we all watch it and we're like, yeah, we have to do something. He's sadistic. He's definitely going to hurt animals and kill kids one day. So we have to move.
Yeah.
We have to move at this time because, we are young freshmen, so we know what we're doing.
Right.
And mind you, I graduated early because I'm a summer birthday. So I started my freshman year in college at 17.
Nice.
So I'm really young.
When's your birthday?
Let's get him. June 8th.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
close.
Yeah. That's actually my dad's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday to you. So, anyway, we make a plan because she was telling us about all the animals there and all this stuff and the ones he tortures and all this other. And so we all made plans like who was going to take the animals and where and what and all this other. Contacted one of the main PETA people in LA, and we'd have to go down there and make a drop off, and we'd have to so they came down and met with us. I mean, it was all covert and crazy, and I'm feeling like a superstar because high school, college, I'm 17, and I'm like, oh my God, just out of high school, and now I'm in college, and now I'm on this covert mission. And I'm like, this is awesome. We're gonna catch the bad guys.
Right.
So anyway, it wasn't as glamorous as I thought it would be.
There wasn't the Mission Impossible song playing in the background.
No. It's when we got there. Oh, it was so sad when we got there because all the animals, they were just, anyway, they were in the cages and everything else. But one of the guys, they had brought bull cutters and all this, and they were taking the logs off, and we start just taking all the animals out because that was our plan, is just to steal the animals.
Right.
And so anyway, and then the PETA people came in to help, because they had helped us organize this from LA, and they were going to transport them since, we went to the school and stuff. We couldn't have them on us in case, whatever. And so anyway, so then
I can take it out. Do you want to take her name out?
Yeah,
Okay.
And I defined her.
Okay. Jane, her Swedish friend.
Yes, my Swedish friend. So anyway, she is very quiet and shy too. So that's a big part of this story because it was really shocking what she does. And she's like, "Oh my God, I dropped. I can't remember. She dropped her license or a credit card or something that would like ID her."
Oh no.
And I'm like, "We have to go back."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No." And I'm like, "Yeah, we do because she's got her ID in there." So 4 of us go back, like our 4 friend group, whatever, and we're sneaking in and we're looking for it on the ground and everything else. And all of a sudden she says, as she goes, "Here," and then the lights go on, and I swear somebody peed their pants. Maybe it was me. So the lights go on and everybody's like, "Oh my God." So we hide, and it's the dude. It's the bad guy. He's coming in and he's caught us, right? And everybody's like, and and I look over and I can see Patrick and I can't see the other 2. And we're both like, giving him dirty looks and all this stuff. All of a sudden, and he's like, looking, and then he's starting to realize what's happened, that he's been robbed. She comes running out of her hiding spot. She's got a pole in her hand, and she's attacking him. And we're like,
a what in her hand?
Some sort of pole.
A pole, okay.
Some kind of rod or so. I don't know what she has in her hand, but some kind
weapon.
of a weapon.
Yeah.
She's got a weapon, and she's beaten down on Bad Boy. And so, of course, Patrick and I think his name was Neil. I can't remember now. The other guy. We come out. We're trying to pull her off. He kicks her, and then of course everybody's like, "No!"
The bad guy kicks her.
Yes. So then we kick him, and then it's because we're going into self-defense. Long story short, campus security shows up.
Oh shit! Rent-a-cops.
Yep.
Yep.
And we all get in trouble, and they find out everything going on and all this other. And I ended up getting serious charges.
Right.
They were telling me it is grand theft and breaking and entering. And, there was like 8 different charges.
Are these mostly domestic animals that you stolen? Or is it like monkeys? Is it,
There's 2 monkeys. There was 6 rabbits. About 12 rats that I ended up getting and keeping.
But animals you can release out in that actual area. Other than the monkeys.
I was just saying, I don't know about the monkeys.
They're probably not the monkeys or the bunny. Yeah,
but the other ones.
And cats, dogs, right. all of that, yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you got all kinds of trouble. You were naming off what you got. You had
a lot of
grand theft.
Yeah, grand theft, breaking and entering. Oh God, what was? Assault and battery.
Right.
Like a lot of intense stuff, but battery, assault and battery, and was it? Felony entering, felony menacing. Yeah, it was really weird. It was so many different
probably some destruction charges on there.
Oh, definitely property destruction because of cutting the locks
right,
and stuff.
Right.
And because she actually stole a key because she was in the class, so she stole the key.
Oh.
So because she was flirting with the teacher to try to get all this stuff. To,
that's how those Swedish people are, man.
I know.
That's Swedes.
It's the vodka.
It's the vodka. Part Swedish, so that's why.
Okay, so
As my mom would say, I can make fun because I are one.
These are your tricks.
Those are my tricks. That's right. That's right. I didn't steal an animal, so I'm just not into it. So.
No, I mean the vodka.
Oh, the vodka.
We need to check that, Mom.
Yeah. When we went in front of the judge, he's like, "Do you know Mike the Canadian?" You're like, "Oh shit!" It's a big circle. So
is he back?
Yeah. Excuse me. So what would you do with like the monkeys if you were to once you stole them?
I don't know. See, that's why we contacted PETA when we joined them,
right.
And then that group came out and talked to us
right.
and told
Probably
us
like a rehab or a rescue
they came and picked them all up.
Right.
And took them away. All of them, even the rats. Wow. Everybody left. I ended up, like, long story, like, way down the road, I ended up with the rats.
Right.
Way after jail. But, anyway, they relocate them, take them out, and it's usually other PETA members, but in other states or
right.
things like that, so that they're safe.
Right.
And so, but the best part is, so they're thinking, okay, now they find out that I'm only 17. And this time you can only charge me as minor. And they're like, And I'm like, what's this now?
I have to go. I have a job interview.
Yeah, I do. I have to go.
Nice.
I'm engaged to be married.
Nice.
So anyway, well, anyway, they started threatening to send me to juvenile hall, this other,
Oh, no.
everything else. I'm not going to finish college, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm just freaking out. So I called my father, and he says he'll be down. But it's going to take a while because he's not close. So just to, I guess, scare me or whatever, I don't know, they put me in a jail cell. And it's a real jail cell. And it's not for kids. It is the adult jail cell.
There's like a passed out hooker.
I'm not kidding. There were, but I thought they were segregated because that did not look like a female prostitute. It looked like a male prostitute.
Excuse me, but her penis is hanging out.
But
Gentlemen.
don't worry. I was safe. I found a friend.
Did you?
Yes. I call her Bertha lovingly. She took me under her hairy armed wing. And I think the smell just scared everybody away. Because they were pretty scary. I thought I was a tough little girl until I got in there. And then I'm like, no. I'm not scared
I
of.
don't mean to be offensive, but I think you might have been Bertha's bitch.
I think a little bit.
That's okay, man. That's okay.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is my nickname. Bertha's bitch.
Bertha's bitch. BB.
Baby.
How long were you in there?
Just a night.
Just
it
a
was
night.
enough to scare me.
Yeah.
He was there. Well, he arrived probably by, I think they said he arrived like 5 a.m, but I still had to stay, because you have to go through
Right.
arraignments. They'd booked me out first, and then they had to arraign and everything else. And then they had to transfer me back to juvenile court.
Right.
And then they got in a little trouble for that stuff because they weren't supposed to have me in the
In the main
big
cell.
girl.
Yeah.
main cell.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, before, and my father actually caused a lot of my delay because he was throwing such a fit that I was detained in the wrong.
Right.
And so then when I found that out, I was really mad.
Wow.
I'm like, I just did it longer because...
Is your dad a confrontational kind of guy?
A little. He's the Italian side. He's Sicilian.
Ah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. My mother's Irish and Scotch, and my father is Sicilian.
Okay. Huh. That's funny.
Yeah.
Where did he come from? Not New Jersey.
Yeah.
Oh, he did come
Yeah.
from New Jersey
Yeah.
to L.A.
Well, he's actually Sicilian.
Right.
He's first born here. His mother came over here, and then she passed just shortly after he.
So he's
was
first
born.
generation.
Yeah, he's first generation.
Wow.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, but he was, born here,
Right, right.
raised, but she came pregnant.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How old was he when she passed?
I think he was 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
No, was the father here?
he passed as well.
Oh my gosh! So he's kind of on his own in a
Yeah.
new country.
Mm-hmm.
How scary!
Yeah, no kidding.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can only imagine.
So he
back
came
then.
up a little rough and tumble.
Sure.
A little bit of a scrapper.
Yeah.
A little.
My mom told me stories about my great grandfather from Sweden.
Oh yeah.
How when he came over, everything was written in like Polish and all these languages, but nothing was written in Swedish. And he
Oh,
was like
wow.
14 or 15 when he came over because his dad was very abusive, and that's what he came over and became a glass blower. Yeah, it's a great
But-
story, but but same thing. Like he had to just pretty much do what he had to do
yeah.
to get by because he didn't
Yeah.
understand anything. He's a teenager, So yeah, those damn monsters. But if it would have been me, I'd have been dead. I'd have been dead. I don't even read English that well, so.
So you're saying the bloodline's kind of dropped off?
Yeah. Not to change the subject real quick, but I tell people when they do this podcast, it's kind of cool. You're a grandmother. Someday your granddaughter will get to watch this. Not probably many years from now, but it's kind of cool, right? What would you give? What would you give people to listen to stories from your grandparents like this?
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
That'd be awesome.
Because you didn't get to know your grandparents, obviously, then. But mom's side.
On my mom's side, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, not my grandfather.
But are they still around?
My parents' side. My father's side, no. And my mother's side just passed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
My grandfather, yeah.
Okay.
My grandmother passed a while ago.
But you got to get to know him.
Yeah.
See, that'd
Yeah,
be cool.
I grew up with Grandpa.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Me too. So,
He was very special.
Right.
Helped raise me.
did you know your grandparents, Adam?
Nope, I never knew my grandparents.
Oh, they were gone.
My mom's dad passed away when she was around 8, and my dad's when he was, I think, probably about 9 or 10.
I'll be damned.
So yeah, I've never had a grandpa.
Oh man.
So
we're gonna find out about grandpa after this.
Well,
we're gonna offer him $5,000.
And he only gets the other $5,000 after he takes him for a ride in the park and on the horse.
Right. And no pickle business, old man. No pickle business. Adam's just not a small man. He'll fuck you up.
When he takes me for ice cream, he gets the rest of the money.
Right.
But so my mom's oldest sister, LaVon, her husband, Cy, which is my uncle, but he was like a grandpa to me.
That's cool.
Because there was such an age gap between my mom and her oldest sister, LaVon.
Right.
LaVon's oldest son is 9 months younger than my mom.
Oh, wow.
So growing up, when she got older, she would just go with LaVon and Cy and their kids, and she was just like another one of the kids.
That's crazy.
So,
that's cool.
So yeah, cool. I got to know Cy a little bit. He lived in California, and then they retired over around Grand Junction.
That's
or
cool.
around Durango.
That's cool.
So I got to meet, he was the closest thing I've had to a grandpa, but he was super cool.
That's cool.
I learned a lot from him.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
But it'd be cool to my original point, to get to hear stories like this.
Yeah.
From them, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I would have killed to know my great grandfather from the Swedish side, because I hear stories about him, him and my so he's my grandpa's on my mom's side. My grandma, my mom's side, her mother was from Chihuahua. And I guess they had something in common. It was drinking. Like, they'd sit on the porch, and he made this shit called glug, I guess, from Sweden. Glug. It's called glug, and it's like a holiday drink, but it's like Everclear, from what I understand. I don't know. Like, there's a way you gotta. Anyway, it'll kill you. And he would tell my great grandmother, "Hey, mama, glug, un poquito glug." They'd get just shit canned together on the. They don't. Neither one of them spoke the same language, but alcohol brings people together. As John Wayne would say, alcohol doesn't solve any problems, but you know what? Neither does milk. So, yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right. What'd you think about that one, Vogue?
That was fantastic.
So far so good. You're doing really well, Dan.
I was sitting here during that story thinking, okay, so they broke into the school to break animals out of a cage. And you actually, at the end of the night, was the one that was in a cage.
Yeah.
So, did anybody come break you out?
My father.
That goddamn monkey better show back up and return the favor.
PETA got what they wanted. They bailed. No man left behind. Isn't their motto?
You might have been the what do they call it? The proxy or the
patsy?
The patsy, yeah, the proxy.
Well, my 4 friends got arrested too.
They didn't end up in the same jail cell as you, though.
No. They went, because they were all over 18.
Was it in LA County Jail? Mm-hmm. That's got to be horrible, man.
It was fun.
That's like going to jail in Chicago or
Raleigh.
Yeah. It was fun. I hear it's not a great time. So, all right. So far, so good. I tell you what, I almost want to hear that one last, but we're going to hear this one last. I'm super interested. Jack Nicholson and the Aspen bar fight.
Okay, so this is going back again to really young. This was just after my senior year, I think.
Okay.
Or just, no. Oh, yeah. No, I was in the bar. How old was I?
21 there, rebel.
No, I'm trying. It must have been after college then. I knew I had, because I was celebrating graduation, so it must have been celebrating college graduation.
Okay.
So, anyway, my Uncle Tom lived in Aspen, and that's how I ended up out here, is visiting him all the time.
Oh, okay.
So, I flew out to visit him to celebrate graduating college and getting through jail, being forgiven, allowed to go back to school. So anyway, my Uncle Tom oddly looks uncannily like Tom Selleck. Do you guys remember him?
Yeah.
Magnum PI.
Yeah, he's dreamy, I guess. Yeah.
Kid you not, spitting image. Like even
Really?
the mustache. Everything.
Wow.
So, and he lives in Aspen.
That's impressive as it is.
So he had all these celebrities always meet, and he also has a really cool personality. So they'd always be like Tom, which is also his name. So he'd turn around, and he worked at the Aspen airport. So he'd meet all these celebrities. So anyway, he ended up meeting and befriending Jack Nicholson.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, and they became like buddies, and they'd drinking buddies at Little Annie's, this little like home bar in Aspen, and they'd hang out there and drink and whatever. And so he says, well, we gotta, when I first flew in from the Aspen airport. He's like, we got to go meet my friend Jack at Little Annie's. And we walk in, and I'm looking, I'm like, that looks like Jack Nicholson. And he goes, well, come on, this is Jack. And then he turns around, and he goes, hi, want some candy, little girl? And I'm like, ah! No.
Yes, the answer is yes to Jack Nicholson.
Oh, no, he's that creepy in real life.
Yeah.
Like it was The Shining all over again. I was like, no candy.
Yeah.
Jumping behind my Uncle Tom, who was a big man. He's probably bigger than Tom Selleck in real life. And I'm jumping behind him. He was all creepy and scary. So anyway, we had drinks, and he apologized, and I told him I'd forgive him if he'll introduce me to Cher, which never, by the way, actually happened. Mr. Nicholson, if you're listening, I'm still waiting to meet Cher. Thank you.
He's a big fan, so
he was our first subscriber.
That's okay.
Right. Make it happen, Jack. Make it happen, Jack.
Wonderful. So anyway, we're sitting there and we're talking, and we're all, sitting at the bar having drinks and whatever. This girl comes up and starts hitting on my Uncle Tom. And, and I'm sitting right next to him, and then Jack's here and we're talking, and some other friends of theirs or whatever. And the girl is like standing between us, and she's trying to scoot into my stool and like push me away because I think she thinks I'm his girlfriend.
She's getting in your bubble.
Yeah, she's in my bubble. But this is my uncle, not my boyfriend.
Right.
So anyway, she's like pushing me away, and she's like, oh, and she's and then she starts giving me the eye, and I'm like, And then she's like pushing and pushing. All of a sudden, her butt goes a little too far, and down I go. And in Little Annie's, these huge, huge stools. And it's a really hard, like marble, like the floor is wood, but around the bar has like, I don't know if it's marble or cement, something, but it's really hard. So I crack my head, and I'm like, oh my God. And she's like, ah. And she gives me this dirty look. I can see her from, looking up at her. And my uncle goes, my niece. And she's like, sweetheart. And I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, so she helps me up. She's being really nice. My head is pounding. I'd had a lot of shots. I'd been scared to death by Jack Nicholson. Long story short, I may have accidentally popped her right in the face as soon as she helped me up. Needless to say, she apologized in the bathroom. We made up. Hugs. I told her I'd give my uncle her phone number with, and put in a good word. I told him she has herpes. Stay away.
You know what I picked up on already is the fact that I can tell you went to jail because everything with you is allegedly. I may not have punched her in the face. Yeah. If she got stabbed in the parking lot, I might have not seen it. I don't know. It's. Have you picked up on that, man?
I have.
I've learned you don't commit to anything. You don't commit.
So, I wonder how many times your uncle has gotten lucky off the whole Tom Selleck thing.
Oh, many.
I mean, I don't care what kind of guy he is. He's probably a great man, but in fact, at the end of the day, he's a dude. Like, if I look like a celebrity, I say, is that you? Yes. my mom was a brush color. That's why I'm here. So. That's funny. What do you think about that one, bro?
That's great.
I think Jack Nicholson probably is creepy.
I agree.
Yes.
His story's kind of crazy too. I was watching somewhere online where his mother was super young when he was born, so he was raised by his grandmother, and he thought his sister was
his mom was his sister.
Yeah. He grew up as his sister. Turned out to be his mother. That's the kind of what he grew up in. So it's
wow.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it was a different time back then, right? I mean, not as understanding and not kind of crazy, but hell of an actor.
Yeah.
I love Jack Nicholson.
Very method, I think is what they call it, and they get all into that because that when he looks at you, he just stares at you and he's like, "Want some candy, little girl?" And you're like, I could feel that in my soul. Oh God.
He plays a psychopath well.
Yeah. I think there might be a little psycho in there.
Yeah.
That might be.
It's not all acting.
It's not all acting.
Anger Management with Adam Sandler, that movie. When he laughs and stuff, I mean, it's like, that's nuts, dude. Nuts.
That was more how he was in person.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
At first he gives you the psycho thing, and then he loosens up. And that's more his real personality.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
Or at least that's how he was
Right.
there that day.
Right. I'm a little disappointed. I completely forgot the extra story you're going to tell us.
Oh, how my parents met.
Okay.
At the Playboy Club.
Oh, we'll do it here in a bit, okay? Since we got a lot to get through, including I want to hear that story because all three of your stories were pretty badass. I really enjoyed them. Adam?
Yeah, me too. They were great.
Yeah, you did really well. A little name dropping and everything. So, Danielle, we're going to go ahead and choose now. So when we choose, what we do is we rock, paper, scissors to see who has to pick first. Danielle, how do you rock, paper, scissors?
What do you mean?
Like,
how do I decide?
Yeah. Let's you and I do it right now.
Okay.
She does 3.
She's a 3.
Yeah, it's on 3.
Exactly. It is on.
It's on 3.
No, wait.
Do you rock, paper, scissors, shoot? Or do you rock, scissors?
Paper, scissors.
Okay,
yeah.
so 3. She's with you.
On 3rd. Yeah, on 3.
Yes, sister.
Woo, because you wouldn't go 1, 2, 3. Then you do it.
Yeah, it's crazy talk, right?
It's the 3rd one.
You're
it's
right.
like 1, 2, 3. You go on 3.
So
you don't go on 4.
We've had 137 episodes now of 3 pumping and 4 pumping arguments.
Okay.
So you're a 3 pumper. Congratulations.
Okay. Is there like a sticker?
So every year I do a tally to see how many. The first year more people 4 pumped. Last year we kicked ass at 3 pump.
Okay.
It's not looking so good in 2023 for the 3 pumpers. So you and I are part of a select club. Let's just say that. So this is the first time you had to. This is the first time in a while you've been on.
It is. It's the first time in a while that someone's here that does it wrong.
He looks so sad. He looks so.
But okay, if you're gonna run a race, are you gonna go on 3 or gonna go on 4?
I'm gonna wait for 3, then go.
When they shoot the gun, do you go or do you wait?
You go when you hear the gun.
You go when you hear the gun.
Down.
The gun is 3.
Hut. You go on hut, right?
Right.
Hut. Go. That is go.
I challenge anybody out there to find a podcast that has an argument like this about something so mundane.
That's when you gotta go.
Did you know there was 2 different ways?
No, but you know what? I would like to challenge you to a race and bet you $5,000.
Well, first
We'll go on 3.
Adam, you can buy a new grandpa for
You go on
$5,000.
4, and I'll go on 3.
Adam can buy a brand new grandpa for $5,000.
I could go on 1 and you would still win.
Don't go down. So, all right, you ready, folk?
Yep.
All right, we're doing 3.
3.
How are you doing, son of a? All right.
Because I thought we were doing 4.
I hope that's
I
not
was
it.
waiting for one more.
That's happened sometimes. Okay, all right. We got 3 great stories. Danielle goes to jail, married for green, and Jack Nicholson and the Aspen bar fight. Now, this is tough, but I think Jack Nicholson and the Aspen bar fight is a true story. I'm going to go with Chew on that one. This one's tough for me because I think Danielle goes to jail is also true. I'm going to go with married for green. For the simple fact is, it just doesn't seem like you weren't as sure when you were telling those stories. I feel like there was a lot of inconsistency. I don't say inconsistency, but the other 2 you just seem to be really in touch with. The way you told them, and had a lot of passion behind it. So I'm going to go with married for green. Adam, what do you think?
I'm not sure.
Oh,
so I was watching her as you were reading these, thinking I would be able to pick up on like facial expression. No, she was just smiling. She was just smiling the whole time. So that really didn't help. I was kind of thinking Danielle goes to jail, just because, like, there was multiple people in that, and it could have been like somebody else with the pole, or just there was like a lot of details. But the thing is, like, you got into every one of those stories. It was like, I was thinking, man, it's like, are one of these actually true?
And the hard part is, we don't know what kind of story it is.
I know, that's the
tough.
thing.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with Danielle goes to jail.
And I'm going to go with Married for Green. Before we flip that over, I do want to say a huge thank you to the Brush Emporium for letting us have Bullhucker Studio here in the bowels of the Emporium. They've been so amazing, so generous to let us have this. What do you think about the studio? Do you like it?
Wonderful. Yeah, I like it. Very cool.
Yeah, and it's very cool. And they're very generous people. They've been very generous and very cool about all this stuff. I want to thank them so much. It's at 210 Clayton Street. Please, if you have not came down here to check it out, what are you waiting for? So many cool things down here. Mm-hmm. They have 30-something odd vendors upstairs. Today's the first day you've been in here, you said. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool upstairs, too, right? A lot of cool stuff. You kind of bullshit with the mayor for a while.
And there's pizza and stuff?
There's pizza. There's chicken wings. Nice. There's
pasta now.
There's ice cream. There's frozen yogurt. There are the
pretzels.
There are
funnel cakes.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Dana told me today her and Gilbert went to some kind of food show in Denver, and Gilbert's become like a mad scientist. You ever seen the movie Accepted?
Yes.
About the college. You know the super stone kid that just becomes a culinary artist because that's Gilbert. That's Gilbert Lake right now.
I saw a post on their Facebook page the other day, something about coming soon, the carnivore pizza, which is probably every meat that Gilbert can get his hands on. So,
including monkey. You know what I'm saying? It's everything.
Oh, God.
I'm just kidding.
I'll call someone.
we're going to have Danielle break it in here to liberate the pizza toppings.
But I want to thank...
Where your keys go on for.
That's right. But seriously, thank them to the Brush Emporium. They really have been very cool about this, and it's been so much fun to have a home to do this at. We used to travel around doing this, and that table right there, we used to have to. Yeah, it took forever to break up, set up, break down all that stuff. So thank them so much. Also, I'm going to forget you go for it. You've been doing well with it.
It's been like a month since I've been here. So if you enjoy this, and you're watching this on YouTube, there's a little button down in the corner. Go ahead and click that and subscribe. And get your your notifications, all that stuff, because it's a small click for you, but a huge click for us.
A small click for you, but a huge click for us, man. We do appreciate it. And no matter what platform you're checking this out on or listening to it, leave a rating and review. We really appreciate it. And also...
And leave a comment. Tell us which one of these you think's right.
Right.
So,
yeah, or just have fun with it. You know what I mean? If you just give us a comment of what you thought about this episode. So, because this one's actually been a fun one. It has been. They've all been fun. I've really enjoyed all our guests that came on. I genuinely have. But this has been a little different than usual. And I've really different in a great way. So, all right. Having said all that good stuff, Danielle, Mr. Vokey is taking. You're going to jail.
Goes to jail.
And I'm taking Married for Green. Flip that over. Let's see what you got. Oh, she's smelling too much. Married for Green. Now, was that borrowed? Was it made up? What was it?
A little borrowed.
Okay.
So I was propositioned for this, but I didn't. I said no.
You said no.
Yeah, I turned him down.
No 5,000, no jail time?
No, nothing.
Well,
nothing happened.
But Danielle Goes to Jail is a true story.
Danielle Goes to Jail is a true story.
Oh, that's crazy.
Well, I was sitting here thinking, well, how did she know all those charges for the Married for Green thing? But if you keep going to jail, you probably do know. You're a lot.
Well, and it's a little borrowed because years later, I had a friend who actually got involved in marrying a guy for helping him. So that's how I know.
Was it successful?
Yeah, they did. They lasted for a little while.
Yeah,
but
that's a tough
till the check cleared.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of wonder maybe.
Till she got tired of him saying the word "a" after everything. You know what I mean? A. Thanks for marrying me. A.
Well, he wasn't Canadian, but
he wasn't Canadian. There was no Swedish.
He was Swedish.
He was Swedish. Damn Swedes!
It's the Swedes.
This is more Swedish talk than ever on this podcast. I'm so proud right now. So proud right now. I was going to ask you if that was a true story about the Green, if he was wearing a Canadian tuxedo, jean jacket and jeans. So anyway, that's so you went to jail. Has that came back to haunt you at all?
The going to jail or
yeah.
My father was able to actually negotiate all the charges to be dropped.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Go, Dad. What's your dad's name?
Mr. Castellano.
Way to go, Mr. Castellano. What's going on, my man? So, is he going to watch us?
No, he's passed.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
What's up, Mr. Castellano? Yeah. All right. And Jack Nicholson and the Aspen bar fight, thank God, is a true story. How fun is that?
It was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Have you seen him since, Jack Nicholson?
I have not. No. I only saw him that day. That was it.
Uncle Tom still around?
No, he's passed.
I'm sorry.
He had a major heart attack.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Well, it sounds like he lived his life, though, right?
Oh, and then some.
Yeah, good for him. There you go, Uncle Tom.
Yeah.
Although it's funny you have an Uncle Tom.
Amazing life.
That's awesome. Danielle, those are 3 great stories, man. So much fun. Before we go, obviously, we're going to do a little talking. You have, I don't know if we call it a business or a foundation or how you want to say it is, but it's little gosh darn it, on the prairie.
Little Rescue
on the Prairie. I've listened to so many of her pitches at this, and you do an awesome job when you come to the city council. But
thank you.
Yes, Little Rescue on the Prairie. Tell us what it is.
Yeah. So it's a cat shelter. It started out as a TNR program, which is trap, neuter, and release, and then it kind of evolved into a full shelter, because traditionally, when you start a TNR program, you work with a shelter, and Lisa has always worked wonderful with me since I met her.
What's up, Lisa Lovesock?
Yeah, she's awesome, and she's taught me so much, and she's just been amazing and such a good friend, and helping me get this, going. And anyway, so that's how we ended up doing the brush thing together. But friends with all the animal world. Actually, we have really good people in this area, in the animal world. But when I went to, because Pam Steiner's wonderful and she'll spay and neuter the ferals and stuff. So when I first started getting into this, before I get into that, I had a beauty school and I got very sick and I had to close down and I had to have surgery. And so I was healing and I had time on my hands. So I wanted to help because I live in Log Lane and there's so many stray cats in Log Lane and all of this. So I started learning about what can you do. The Humane Society, of course, couldn't take that many because there's so many. So I found out about TNR, and Pam Steiner can TNR them, really cheap. And so I went, about all that. But traditionally, you work with a shelter when you're doing that because when you're out trapping cats, you could catch people's cats. You could catch, cats that could be adopted out even though they're strays.
Right.
And you have to do the stray hold weight and, all the stuff. So I went to the Humane Society and they weren't really that receptive to working with us or anything. So, long story short, I ended up just starting my own kind of, that's why it's Little Rescue, even though it's more of a shelter now. Mm-hmm. It started out more like Little Rescue. It was just going to be a TNR group. And then when I found out about the licensing, you really can't get just a TNR license. You have to do like a full shelter or transport or some, but I'm not sure why they should at this point have a TNR license, but they don't. So I had to get a full shelter license, which is like the highest license you can get. So then I got that. You have to have a brick and mortar shop. So I opened it out of my, just did a couple rooms out of the basement of my house, which we're still using to this day. Mm-hmm. And then I went to Log Lane and I proposed to them, can I do this? Can I go out and trap your cats? And, I've learned how to do it legally, through the state. And then I took lessons from the Feline Fix. And then I ended up meeting people from Denver Dumb Friends League. That's just been amazing. They taught me so much and so much how to do all of this and trained me on so many things and all about the shelter world and how to place animals. And I've actually been successfully socializing feral cats and been able to adopt them out to homes. And
nice.
It's amazing. So it's been, but it's a lot of hard work. And there's very, very little funding and even less help.
Right. The City of Brush is giving you some funding, though.
The City of Brush has been wonderful. They've agreed to assist us with $50 per cat that we take for them. And that goes all to their veterinary fees, which is wonderful.
Is Fort Morgan or anything hopping in?
The town of Fort Morgan, no.
Come on, no. Fort Morgan.
I know.
Come on, Fort Morgan.
Well, they help Fort Morgan Humane Society.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they have a contract with them.
I guess we'll let it slide.
Yeah.
Fort Morgan. So how do people, Facebook, a website, what's the best way to check this out if you're interested?
Facebook, website, littlerescue.org.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at the bottom on the description of this podcast, you'll find that website link to it so you can catch up with Danielle. So Danielle, do you accept, what's the main, what would you like to take from this? Monetary, people don't want to adopt cats. What's the main goal?
I would love to find adopters.
Right.
So many cats. And of course, we always need funds.
Right.
That's super huge because, it does cost money to get them vetted and fed and cleaned and everything.
Venmo, PayPal, how do you accept?
We have Venmo and PayPal.
And where do I find that?
If they want to adopt. And it's just both are Little Rescue on the Prairie.
Okay, just
at Little Rescue on the Prairie.
Little Rescue on the Prairie. That's awesome. Mm-hmm. How many cats do you have right now, you think?
Quite a few. But I'm licensed to have this many cats and be this age.
That's cool. That's awesome. You're not crazy cat lady. Not crazy cat lady.
A little bit.
Are you? That's okay. That's okay. Not dogs? You're not a dog person?
I'm a dog I have 3 dogs.
Okay.
But it's just, the thing is that there's so many places and people that want to help dogs, and we don't have the stray dog amount that we do of cats.
Cats,
There's just nobody helping the cats, so that's why I wanted to start helping the cats.
And how many years have you done this for?
Let's see. I think 6 officially.
That's awesome.
Officially.
When I had a dog, Rodney, that's him right back here. That's my old dog. He passed too, though. I took him to Pam Steiner's spay and neuter, and
nice.
I worked with Budweiser at the time.
Nice.
And you want to go for in the van? He used to love the van. Well, before that day, he loved the van. And I took him, got him spayed, or got him neutered, not spayed. And I brought him home, and he never wanted to go in that van again because he lost 2 good friends that day, and he let me know about it. So he got to a point where you couldn't pick him up. Like, if I had to pick him up, I'd have to get a blanket, like I'm trapping him, like the big game, and I'd throw it on top of him, and I'd grab him, and he'd growl, and this guy'd come over and try and pick him up. I'm like, he's gonna bite you. Look at that tooth. That thing goes in crooked. It's gonna hurt like shit.
I'm gonna go to pick you up. He's like snarling at me. He goes, "Dude, you can't pick him up." I'm like, "Watch me." So that was my mission: pick up Rodney. I never did get him picked up.
Okay. He'd tear your ass up. He did not like being picked up. You go for walks. Use for the walks, but he goes, picked up. Fuck you, picked up.
You were picking him up on 4 instead of 3.
That's what it was.
She is not going to let this go.
I think you're my favorite guest now, like of all time. No one's fought like this for me. Four pumpers are historically kind of mean people. They're kind of aggressive assles. So
they're not popular with women either.
Are 3 pumpers? No, I don't think so. As Dempsey would say, is it wrong to want one more? So, okay. You were going to tell us one more story before you go. You got a little extra time.
Oh, yeah. So, my parents met. Actually, my mom was like walking in Manhattan to like some jobs she had, and my father had spotted her, but he wanted to court her, because he wanted to be old fashioned and like fell for her or whatever. So he found out, kind of followed her and was a stalker and found out, where she worked, found out about her. And I guess somehow he was friends with Hugh Hefner or something, or a member of the Playboy Club or something in Jersey.
He had a connection.
And he had a connection somehow. So he ends up getting somebody from the Playboy Club to offer her a job at the Playboy Club.
Really?
Yeah. So she ended up being, not a bunny or anything, but she ended up being the lady who takes care of the entertainers when they come in to like stay and do like the people who
like
get
an
you
event coordinator type. Lady.
No,
concierge.
The concierge. Okay. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, they're the ones who get you the jelly beans, and you want them all pink. That's her job.
If they have like a what's it called?
A rider.
A rider, yes.
Yeah. So he got her that job, and then she got like a gown allowance, and it was really cool.
That's kind of cool.
So, and then he would go in there, and then he would court her, because after she took care of the guests, she could be in the lounge and relax, and because they were all taken care of.
Right.
And she just saw to it that everything was set up in their rooms or whatever.
Sure.
So then she got to relax. So then he could flirt and make his move. And I guess it worked, because here I am.
Mr. Corsentino.
Yeah.
You slick guy. Well, what year is this?
Let's see. I think they met. I'm trying to remember, how many years did they meet before me?
Do you have siblings?
I have a brother.
Okay.
Yeah, an older brother.
An older brother.
Yeah.
So you're the baby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your brother's name?
Eddie.
What's up, Eddie? Is he gonna watch this?
He's passed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm on a streak. You look like Nick and
Eddie Castellano.
What's up, Eddie Castellano? Yeah. All right. That's okay, though. That's cool.
That's okay.
So, yep. What do you think, man?
I think this has been a fantastic episode.
It has been a fantastic episode,
been a lot
Danielle.
of fun.
I'm glad I reached out to you, and it was kind of funny. You're like, "Yeah, I've seen it. Let's do it." You jumped on right away. So some people I got to talk into it. Were you nervous at all for this?
A little, yeah.
Really? Were you?
Yeah.
You showed it well.
You couldn't tell.
Yeah, and it's okay to be nervous, because this is outside the box for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I have people want to come on and do it, but then they kind of back out at the last minute, or you know what I mean, because they get nervous, and you shouldn't. You'd come back and do this again, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got more stories?
Maybe a couple.
Yeah, I bet you do. I bet you do. So
Danielle goes to jail part 2, part 3, part 4.
The Peter Pounder.
No.
Well, Danielle, once again, if you're interested in helping her out, you want to just even help out, get a cat, donate some cash to help her out. Link below in the description. Please check that out. And Danielle, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
That was awesome.
Thank you.
I'm Moose Lundstrom.
I'm Adam Vokey.
Hey, till next time. Peace.